what we're going to do is carve knuckles on this side. So I've gone ahead and got them carved on this side, so you see where we're going here. So where I left you last is we were gluing up the handhold here, and as you can see, I wasn't really matching up color because I'm painting the chair. What I'm matching up is the size of the growth rings and the direction of them and the plane that they're in and all that. So when you paint it, it matches where the grain telegraphs through the paint. It matches right up. So I glued the side piece on first, as I showed you, and then I glued the piece on the bottom. And as you can see, it was turned like that, so the growth rings are running in line with these up here on top. And then I'll carve the knuckle next, saw it out, carve the knuckle, and then lay out the volutes over here and carve those. So that's what we're going to be doing. So I left this side rough for you. So right now I'm going to smooth this down, and I do that with the draw knife. So okay, so that ought to be fine. So we'll go inside and lay it out. So lay my pattern down. So this is 6 inches right here, and I believe I need something like about 2 3/4 for right here. So line her up. I want to make sure that the end of the handhold is exactly at the end of this, because I'm going to use that as my reference point down the line here. So I want both of these to be something that I can measure off of. So mark this out. Okay, go over to the bandsaw and saw that out. So I'm going to smooth this down right here so I can draw out the round part of the knuckle. I use a quarter. Use a nickel for the high chair. spoke shave won't fit in there. I don't think this curve won't fit in there either. Now, so I can probably scrape it. So I'm going to make this circle just a little bit darker so you can, maybe you can see it on the camera there. You see I have all this down here that I need to take off. Of course you get off however you want, you bandsaw it off, but because it's straight grain, because it's split stock, I ought to be able just to split it right off. I won't try to take the whole thing, just in case. But it's nice and safe. Alright, so now I'm going to carve the knuckles, and so I'll cut into that just a short ways. And once again, my apologies to anybody who is actually a carver, because I am not. And if you are a dry white oak, it's not like your choice, but that's the choice for the bin, so that's what we have out here. So that's what I'm carving, is dry white oak. So kind of hard, but if you get your chisel sharp enough, it makes it a little bit easier. You can see I've got my clamps way back here, which I'd rather have them up here to hold it steady. But then that's in my way, so I've got to put them back here, and sometimes you'll see this thing move a little bit, but that's kind of the compromise. I'd rather it not move, but I'd rather not have the clamp in my way too. So. Okay, so now I have it blocked out. Now I'll cut into the inside part here. Well, that's about as good as I can get it with the chisel. So now I'll switch to a tool that I attempt to avoid as much as possible, which is a rasp. I like it about as much as I like sanding. But it's the tool for the job here, at least for me. it is, the way that I do it. If you can do the bulk of it with the chisel, then you don't have to use the rasp too much. I'll switch to the other one. These are the Nicholson rasp, the 49 and the 50, and they have like teeth that are not in a pattern or something like that. I don't know, but they're good rasp, expensive rasp. And now switch to a half round file. Need to put a handle on that. Okay, well, we got the top. Alright, so I flipped her upside down here, which means I got to saw with my left hand. And where's my chisel? There it is. So the action that I'm using here, as you might be able to see, is a slicing action. So I'm pushing with my right hand that way. Now I'll take off the insides. Okay, go to the rasp. I'll have to come back from the other side. I might be able to get it from here. And then this back side here, which really the long wood fibers are running that way, which means that my chisel really needs to come back this way. I'll go ahead and get this end right here, and then I'll flip it around. So like I said, I got it flipped around now, and got it flipped around because, once again, those long wood fibers are running like that, and it's just going to make it easier to cut from this direction right here. So. So that's it for that, and on this back side I go ahead and leave the chisel cuts for two reasons. One is I like to feel them when I put my fingers around it, and the other is I don't like to use the rasp.